Here we are at our example 2 from our alternate interior and exterior set of notes. We're asked to use this diagram and kind of given some of the different angles, find some of these other ones, and also explain our reasoning as to why that is. So we're going to kind of mix in some other properties in this process. Notice how we do have these two parallel lines because it shows that symbol. That's how you identify that these are. Or if it says that they're parallel specifically. Cut by this transversal right here. And so, also, by the way, when you see two parallel lines, like let's just say this is M and this is N, a lot of times they use that, M and N, for parallel lines. You'll see this symbol. M is parallel to N, so kind of like two vertical bars like that. A and B are also pretty common, so just so you guys know, kind of in the future, you could see those. Now, we know the measure of angle 2 is 113 degrees. And when you know just one angle, you can really identify all of the other ones, given two parallel lines and a transversal. But we're going to go ahead and strategize using our properties to find them and just kind of answer these specific questions based on their angle types. So the measure of angle 6 is right here. And when we look and we see that angle 2 is 113 degrees, and then we look at angle 6, we notice that those are corresponding angles. And from our past notes, we know that corresponding angles are congruent. So, as a result, we can say then the measure of angle 6 is the same as the measure of angle 2, which is 113 degrees. Now, when we look at angle 4, we're trying to figure out that, we have that's 100 degrees. We're trying to figure out what is that relationship with the measure of angle 6 this time. Well, notice now they're not corresponding angles. Instead, those would be alternate interior angles because they're on the opposite sides of that transversal, but they're on the inside or the interior of our two parallel lines. And those two angles are congruent, so the measure of angle 6 in this case would be 100 degrees. So it just kind of depends on the information that's presented to you. Now, the measure of angle 1, we're told, is 84 degrees. Go ahead and get rid of these guys. And we're trying to figure out what is the measure of angle 3. Well, those are vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. So angle 3 then would also be 84 degrees. And then some new information comes along, and then they say we have the measure of angle 7 is 75 degrees. So this is 75. And we're trying to determine what is the measure of angle 1. Well, those are alternate exterior angles. And from our definitions, we know that alternate exterior angles are in fact congruent. So then the measure of angle 1 is going to come out to be the same as that 75 degree measure from angle 7. Again, though, that is example 2, just kind of highlighting the different properties and definitions and using them to identify these different angle measures.